The number one question I get all the time is why are all these cases taking so long? So let's talk about it. I'm Bianca Jordan, immigration attorney at Brazen Legal. We help people fix their complicated immigration cases so that they can get a green card or TPS. If you'd like to work with us, we work with clients all over the world who want to live and work in America. All you've got to do is visit brazenlegal.com/contact to book a consultation to get started. So this video is hopefully going to provide a lot of background relief, something to you, I hope, because the number one question that I'm getting every week, if not every day, is why are these cases taking so long? And obviously, the number one reason still is COVID. Even though, in some places COVID is gone and, we're kind of moving on and we're starting to be outside again and all of those good things, a lot of these delays happened not only during COVID, but before COVID. So, as many of you know, the previous president really slashed immigration budgets so that people, in the agencies weren't able to hire as much help as was needed. And then we had COVID. And then we had a series of executive orders that really put a halt to legal immigration. And then once President Biden was able to lift that executive order, it kind of started to help a little bit, but we were still dealing with COVID. And at the time, there were so many cases that were pending and backed up that we're still working through all of that. And a lot of embassies are still understaffed or short staffed. So it's just a really long slog. When it comes to USCIS, there are currently, as of the time of this video, over 9 million cases that are pending at USCIS alone. At the National Visa Center, there are over 400,000 cases that are documentarily qualified, meaning they're done, the NVC is done with their review, they're just waiting for an interview. And as you know, the NVC cannot send a case to an embassy for an interview until the embassy indicates that it is ready to receive those cases for interview. In addition, the National Visa Center is processing about 87,000 cases per month, including opening up or creating case numbers and invoices for cases at a speed of about 28,000 per month. When it comes to immigration court, we've got over 1 million cases that are pending at the immigration court. We did have some relief in the form of a memo that would allow certain attorneys, of the trial attorneys, to issue prosecutorial discretion to terminate some of our immigration cases to kind of alleviate that over 1 million case backlog. However, that was recently enjoined, and that is likely to create a mess in the immigration court system because we had a lot of people who had filed motions for prosecutorial discretion, and those cases are now going to be in some sort of limbo. So time will tell what ends up happening there. So the long and short of all of this is that your case is taking a very long time because there are millions of cases pending at various agencies, not enough people to handle the work. USCIS is actively trying to hire and very aggressively trying to hire more workers to help alleviate some of the backlog. They're also planning on raising their fees later this year. Similarly, the Department of State, who basically manages the National Visa Center, they also are planning on raising their fees this year in an attempt to also be able to hire more people to help with that backlog. So now that you know pretty much why everything is taking forever, still, even though the pandemic is over, here are some things that you can do to make sure that your case is processed as quickly as possible, despite the backlogs. Number one, you want to make sure that your case is as complete as possible. I know, for example, a lot of people who are applying for things like TPS, a lot of people are simply sending in their application with the bare minimum. They're sending in their application with their passport picture, birth certificate, maybe a copy of their passport, and maybe their I-94. That is not enough to really make a decision on your case. So what's going to happen is you're going to get something called a request for evidence, which is going to slow down your case. Anytime you receive a request for evidence, It's like putting your case on pause until USCIS gets the remaining information needed to make a decision on your case. So you can help with the speed of your case by making sure that whether you're filing for asylum or a green card or TPS or anything that you're applying for, that you're sending in as much evidence as is required. Don't just send the bare minimum because you're going to be slowing down your own progress. Another thing that you can do is to make sure that you're checking in with your case, at least from the National Visa Center level. If your case is documentarily qualified, that is not the end of the game. You still have to make sure that you are checking in with the National Visa Center at least once a year. And if your case is electronically based, all that means is that you're logging into your system, and that is enough. If your case is much older, maybe your case was filed before 2013 or maybe around that time, you may actually want to send them an email or call them to make sure that you are still interested in your case. It used to be that if you do not contact the National Visa Center within that year, they might give you, like a month or two before they actually start to terminate your case. Not anymore. I've seen people where if you're supposed to contact them, let's say June 1st, and you don't, by June 10th, they are terminating your case. So you want to make sure that you're still staying on top of your case. And worst case scenario, if your case has been pending a really long time, let's say it's been more than 6 months since your green card interview, for example, or your case has been documentarily qualified for quite some time and you're at risk of aging out, or you have a really severe medical emergency, you might want to try an expedite request, which again, they're not, foolproof, because even if the NVC agrees, the embassy could always say no. But you can also try to sue the government as well. Again, not always foolproof, because even if you were to win that lawsuit, the embassy still needs to have the capacity to call you in for an interview. But those are some things that you can try to do to help with your case. Um, Again, everybody is dealing with this. This is not agency specific. This is not embassy specific. Embassies all over the world are dealing with this. I know people who are in Nigeria, for example, and their cases have been documentarily qualified since like 2018, 2019, and they're still waiting for interview. And these are situations where it's a green card for a spouse. Similarly, in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, I know people whose cases have been documentarily qualified since 2019, and again, they're waiting for interviews. So this isn't just specific to certain embassies. This is all over the world. People are dealing with these issues. So I ask that you just extend some patience and grace to both your attorneys, who are doing the best they can to process your case, but also the workers at the various agencies and consulates who are doing the best that they can with what they've got. I hope you found this video helpful. Please visit brazenlegal.com to learn more about me, my law firm, how I can help you with your green card or TPS case. Please share this video with anybody that you think would benefit from it. And if you're not already, please follow me on Instagram at Brazen Lawyer, where I share some behind the scenes and some quick tips on how you can move your immigration case forward. Thanks for watching.